I'd like to talk a bit about policy direction. So outside of those policy changes that are announced, the proposals that have been put forward, now they haven't got any policy announced with them. They're expected to come in over the next 18 months, and we don't know really the details of what's going to happen there, but we've had a few things that are suggested likely to be detailed policy as they come through. So what are some of those suggested policies that we have to date, and what's been your experience of these big sort of proposals in the past, Julia, in your 10 years as an advisor?
Well, quite often there's things hit the media with policy changes coming, and a lot of talk around what might or might not be happening. And yeah, it doesn't always pan out that way. It's until the policy's written and we're presented with it, then it's purely up for discussion at that point. So it's until it's firmly in writing, then you've just got to take it with a pinch of salt, really. The ideas are there, but the announcement last week has been on the table for about 18 months already. So, and it's still not actually taken hold yet. So we could be another 18 months or beyond before it's actually firmly in place for people to start to adhere to.
That's been my thoughts as well. I know I went to a conference earlier in the year, and the minister was quite clear that he intended to bring in some changes from May next year. But now that's changed to over the next 18 months. Now, there is an election coming up, and elections tend to play havoc with the best of intentions of current governments. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes. I do think there are some rays of light in these announcements that give reason for people out there to be positive about the potential changes. So let's have a quick talk about some of those. One of them is the proposal to remove ANZCO. Now, perhaps you could tell us what your understanding of ANZCO is, Julia.
Well, under the current policy, ANZCO plays a really big part in assessing application skill levels. And for those who don't know what ANZCO is, it's the Australia-New Zealand Standard Classification of Occupations, which is quite a mouthful. And each occupation has a skill level attached to it that's predetermined. And immigration use that then to put you into a box of high, low or medium skilled occupations for giving you a visa length. So a low skilled occupation would get you a 1-year visa, mid-skilled 3, high-skilled 5 years. And that's going to be taken away and replaced with remuneration bands, isn't it? $25 an hour or more being considered as
so there was already those changes that came in previously where they started using salary as a proxy for skill level, because ANZCO, to my mind, is a very unwieldy and cumbersome beast. It doesn't take account of new jobs, doesn't fit portfolio work or jobs that have fit into multiple roles. One that springs to mind for me is office manager, where they spend half their time being the office manager. They spend 20% of the time doing payroll, another 20% of the time doing marketing initiatives, and then 10% of the time they're actually just the company secretary. And ANZCO and the current system doesn't allow for them to have a job because they're considered to be not properly the office manager, not properly a PA, not a marketing manager. And even though they might be getting paid a decent salary, they might end up just being classed as a low-skilled clerk and only getting a 1-year visa.
Yeah.
So I think this proposal to remove ANZCO and look at salary is a really positive one. For those industries that are paying below the proposed $25 an hour, there's talk about sector agreements. Now, I'll say that with a different accent than my Kiwi accent, sector agreements, just to make it clear. So sector agreements are agreements perhaps with the dairy industry or with horticulture New Zealand, with the fisheries industry, to bring people in to fill those shortages, particularly seasonal shortages, where they can't find labour because there just aren't people to work in New Zealand. There's not enough people available at the moment. We've got record lows of unemployment rates, and so many employers just can't find anyone. But they're not going to be paying a salary that's mid-skilled, and so they have to really show they've made efforts to hire anyone available out there. So that's where the sector agreement will come in. And as long as they've been good employers and doing the right thing within their industry, and pushing wages up and training in Kiwis, then they're going to get access to that migrant labour pool. That seems like it's very likely to go ahead, to my mind. Is that how you'd see it, Julia?
Yeah, and I think that's quite a sensible approach to it, really, because those industries do struggle with getting labour for, if it's for seasonal work. It's really tough for them. So I think the sector agreements is definitely a good approach for the government to pull in, really. Yeah.
Now, one concern I do have about the changes, and I'd be really interested to hear your opinion on this, is that there's going to be an increasing number of people who can come in on temporary work visas, but I'm concerned that there may not be an equal conversion rate to residents. So if people are coming in, they get $25 an hour, that's it, great, you've got a skilled job, but will that mean also that they're going to be able to go ahead with residents? Because in the past that's been controlled by having to meet the ANZCO to be skilled for the job. How do you think they're going to address that question? Do you think it's going to change significantly?
I think it will have to evolve, but I think maybe they've got enough on their plate with introducing this first set of changes. Is going to be quite significant and quite a big job to introduce that. But I think in the longer term, they are going to have to look at that pathway as well. It's all got to align in some way, and it might just miss the market a little bit if it's not overhauled a little.
I guess if those sector agreements make it really clear that those people are coming seasonal workers for temporary work, but everyone else is coming with long-term visas, hopefully they'll start to see if you contribute, if you pay taxes, then you have a right to remain and be part of society fully. But I'm not sure whether that's the political will of the current government, so we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of, we're going to have to wait that out, I think, because it could change. I mean, if we have a change of government, then it could all get turned on its head. So
that's very true.
At the moment, we can only work with what we know is fixed policy. We know what's coming on the 7th. The rest of it, we just have to wait and see.
Yeah, and that's a great point to finish on. Sorry to jump in there, but that's a great point to finish on. As advisors, we can only advise on policy that's published. We can't give people advice on how to make choices in life or what to do based on proposals, based on headlines in the news. We can discuss it with people, but we can't give them advice on how to act because we don't know, and we are bound to the advice that we give legally. Yeah. So I hope that's been a helpful video for all the people out there who've had some questions. If you do have further questions, you're very welcome to contact us for further advice. There's also lots published on the Immigration New Zealand website that we hope will be really clear if you don't get through to us straight away. And we look forward to seeing you or you seeing us again on Zoom sometime soon.
Great. Thanks, Toby.
Thanks very much, Julia.
See you.
Yeah, bye.